And we were planting these little onion bulbs, and Dad had made an implement where it makes a bunch of little holes at one time, and we would take these onions, little onion bulbs, and stick them in the hole, push them down in the hole. And we were working, and my brother Tom had been up to Evergreen, our other farm, and he drove down in the pickup truck, and we could always tell because he always had the radio going so loud that we said, well, here comes Tom. But he rolled the window down and he says, Japan had bombed Pearl Harbor. So, of course, I told my dad right away, and Dad said, oh, not Pearl Harbor, not Hawaiian Islands. He said, you mean the Philippines. And he just kept on working nonchalantly, and I said, oh, we got to go find out. Let's go and find out if that's true. So we dropped everything, went to the house, and Tom already had the radio on in the house. And of course, when they said war and all Japanese were going to be rounded up, well, it really scared us then, because here we had the 3 farms and the horses and the trucks and everything we owned, and we didn't know what was going to happen. They talked about they were going to deport us, or they were going to put us in prison, or we didn't know what was going to happen. It was really upsetting then. Of course, the onions started growing, and we had planted lettuce, and lettuce was just about heading by just about the time war, or about the time that we were going to be interned. And when they said that we couldn't go any further than 8 miles, within the radius of 8 miles, of course our farms weren't that far apart, so we could work on the farms. But it was very, very trying because we had no idea what was going to happen. And Hank wanted to get married and go to a free zone because he didn't want to go to camp. He says, I'm not going to camp. So he and Marty got married, and they left for Wenatchee. But my mother was very disappointed in him because, you know, he's the first son, and she thought, well, he'd be the one that would say, well, the family's got to stay together and everything, and here he just got married and took off and left us. He just left everything up to Emily, my youngest sister. She and I were trying to keep the main farm together, get everything together. And of course, the important thing was to have money. We had to have money to survive. So we were trying to sell everything and sell for whatever we could get. We were selling plants and flowers and trees and everything we could sell. And it was a horrible time because each day, you know, it just seemed like we were being squeezed. And since we'd never been in a war before, you know, in our lives, it was just absolutely panic. I still have nightmares. I have nightmares quite often, trying to decide, what am I going to take? What am I going to do with everything? And what's going to happen to us? It was just a horrible, horrible time.